up with it. Here we go. Let me see if it went live on. Y'all see me on IG? This is my first time multi-streaming on different platforms. So this is exciting. Oh, yes, I see you guys can see me. So I'm streaming on a few platforms right now. And I wanted to come live before I head up because I'll be having the topics for you guys. And today I wanted to talk about how you become the queens and kings of cash flow. So, of course, it always starts with a conversation. Can you guys hear me? Okay, so it started with a conversation that I had with who I serve, who is my ideal client. And a lot of the times, like I tell you guys, you have to niche down, just like I had to niche down. So, as I spoke to you guys before, I know I serve people who have impactful brands, right? Individuals who impact community. So, leaders, thought leaders, people who build brands, people who impact community. But the way that I help them master their seven-figure framework is because you have to expand on opportunity that is authentic to your brand. So I use this example. I love talking about candle companies because you meet so many people who do candle companies or they're into like body butters, things that they can make on their own. Or like I spoke to one girl a while back and she was making toothpaste, natural toothpaste. And it was because she had an allergic reaction to every other toothpaste that she tried. So it forced her to make her own toothpaste, right? Isn't that a dope brand story? Like she ended up making this specific product out of necessity. And because she understood what she was going through, she could speak to the pain points of those who are going through similar things. Like maybe they've tried every brand, whether it's been Sensodyne or whatever, but she was having these terrible outbreaks, these terrible reactions that even hospitalized her. So her brand was forged by necessity. When you hear that brand story, it makes you intrigued. Even if you don't have that sensitivity, it makes you curious to see, well, what does she make? What does she create? Right. So telling your brand story and just telling your story, for one, for you to be relatable, for two, for people to connect with what your pain was, and for three, for them to understand that you understand their pain so that you can move them forward from where they're at, from point A to B, not necessarily from point A to Z, but you can at least move them out of the how do I get out of this? And is it possible to get out of this? So telling your brand story is really important. And the reason why I bring that up when they ask me, well, who do you serve? Do you serve people who have services or do you serve people who have products? They intertwine. And that's how you create the seven-figure framework, right? That's the big secret. That's what I work people through. So let's bring it back to the toothpaste girl. Her brand story came from a place of necessity. The necessity was that she couldn't find a product that would serve the level of sensitivity she had to the things that was in toothpaste, right? So within telling that brand story, it would put her in a place of speaking of health and wellness. So she would be under that umbrella. And in speaking her brand story and her transformational parts and the inspiration of how that forged her into entrepreneurship by wanting to make sure not just for herself, because she could have stopped there. So that's a different kind of person. That's someone who has more to offer, that wants to play a role in impacting community. She could have just made a batch for herself, but no, she didn't want others who may have the same sensitivity as her to feel lost, to not experience that there is something out there that you can still be healthy and that you can still have the same quality when it comes to your upkeep and your hygiene, right? So she wanted to make sure that others were able to experience that. That's the difference between someone who creates something from necessity and someone who wants to impact a community, right? So she's still an entrepreneur who has a product, but she created a product to serve, which means she's in a place of service. What does it mean for people who create products by necessity? What does it mean for people who then take it to another level and want to impact community? They are small business owners, yes. They have products, yes, but they're in a place of service. And usually, when people are in a place of service, they know how to coach you from A to B because they've been there. So now this also puts this girl in a position to not just be a product holder or be a small business person who sells products, but now she can be a motivational coach. She can be a wellness coach. She can be a thought leader on how to materialize your visions, how she went from making something that was out of necessity in a product based world to becoming a service brand that now helps other people do the same thing. So she's still selling her toothpaste because that brand story is that brand story, but now her personal brand and speaking from how it originated, but also the things that she went through to make it happen puts her in a position to now coach. So now she has products and she has services. Everyone that I work with to build both. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like, oh, now I got to go make candles or I got to go figure out a toothpaste or I have to make a product by necessity. No, that's not for everyone. I have stuff, but it wasn't, I didn't need it to create that framework. But you can create seven figures. You can make seven figures doing service, or you can make seven figures doing products. We know that there are multi-million dollar brands that only focus on one. When we talk about quantum leaping, and when we talk about mastering, being the king and queen of mastering business success and cash flows, you can distribute and 2.0 so much more when you're on both the product and the service base. And you can expect income from both. Some will be happening while you sleep, some will require you to show up. But either way, you have income coming in from multiple places by authentically monetizing off of your brand. This is what I've been preaching to you guys, people. And I was having this conversation because someone was doing an interview. It was an interview question that I answered today. And during that interview question, when they asked, like, what was one of those pivotal aha moments for me in my over 15 years of business, and I owned a recording studio that is service based only, right? But it's also kind of product based because you're selling music. I owned a consulting company that was service based only, right? I opened up a co-working and event space that is service based. And now I've completely pivoted to doing this, right? Being in a full coaching consultant, thought leader position to help others, individuals, understand that success isn't either or, it's understanding the balance of both. Warren Buffett said it best. If you have one stream of income and that one thing goes down the drain, you can never be wealthy. Imagine if you only had that one product and something like the pandemic happens. You can't import, you can't export, you can't ship. But that stream of revenue goes down and you still have something service based where people can still come to you even virtually. You still have that to monetize until the other thing picks back up and you can ship and you can do all those other things, right? And even in the service space, there's so many ways that you can offer your services. There's so many ways that you can offer your services. You don't even have to show up like a traditional coach like me. You don't have to do groups like weekly group coaching. You don't have to do one-on-ones with people. I do it because I love it. People who work with me, they talk about this light that comes out of me when we do our sessions, this energy, this adrenaline that happens, and I feel it when it happens. So I know that's when I'm in my purpose. That's when I'm in the stick of things. So that's for me, that's food for my soul. So I love it, but some people don't, and that's fine. When you coach to impact, Again, I'm going to drill this in your heads. You're coaching your targeted market to the end result that you want for them, whether it's health, whether it's wellness, and you're coaching them to the end result that you want for your company, whether it's a sale, whether it's a click now, whether it's a buy, whether it's a download this. But you have to know how to talk the talk, but you also got to be able to walk the walk. I tell my people all the time, show up on live, show up on social media. And I hadn't been doing it. And I've spoken to you guys about this. I've been always transparent with my audience. But now was my third day straight show. And I plan on continuously to show up, pop in for a few minutes and speak to you guys so that I'm out here in my thought leadership moments, and I got some jewels to come and share with you guys to update you on how you can participate in some of the things I got going on. I got the link in my bio for my upcoming boot camp, my 5-day boot camp that really goes into depth on the 5 pillars of business success and you wielding them, understanding them, knowing when to implement them into your business, and how that's going to make the difference between those of you who are starting off with the proper foundation and those of you who are stuck, who's looking to scale. So I'm here giving information every day because that's what I love to do. And that's what, when you put yourself in a place of thought leadership, you share your thoughts, right? But I'm also letting you know how you can be a part of that circle, how you can be a part of Chloe's corner, a part of my corner, and continuously learn and take it to the next step. So I tell my clients, so I show up. I speak to you guys about wealth, or we speak about more. I have deep conversations with my mom, with my husband about acquiring land, about buying buildings, because we're gonna make, my hashtag is the next youngest Black billionaire, right? So I got apps, I got all kind of things coming out, but you think about taxes. So I'm always thinking ahead of not just getting you guys to the place, because what's my motto? Obtaining isn't hard, maintaining is, right? So I'm always thinking 10 steps ahead. I'm always playing chess with not just getting you guys to the destination, but keeping you elevated so that you can soar without the rung being snatched from underneath you guys. And when you get to that place of innovation and that mindset that allows you to continuously 2.0 your brand in the most authentic way possible, cash flow the potential will be endless for you. The potential will be endless for you. These are facts, right? Now there's things that you'll have to put into place as more opportunities come, like the opportunity cost of something else. Maybe these opportunities are coming with lack of sleep, lack of health, or maybe they aren't. So as the abundance of opportunities come in, the discernment has to also rise with it. And obviously your money is going to be more is going to be coming in. I've had conversations with people. I haven't made an offer or sold them anything, and they're like, how do I work with you? How much does this cost? Tell me more about this program. So when you're in a place of just having conversation and being in your authentic self, and people see the value in your mind and in your experience and what you're able to do for them and their journey, more opportunities. But what does that mean for you and your bottom line? And if your bottom line is money and you're making all that money, what does that mean for you and your taxes, right? So these are all the things that I think about when it comes to cash flow and keeping you guys in a place where you can enjoy it, not just bring it in, but keep it. And these are the things that I implement into my memberships. And, I really wanted to come and speak to you guys about mastering business success. It's not just about making the money, obtaining the money, it's maintaining. And a part of that maintenance is being responsible on the back end, right? When it comes to having things in place, where you put your money, how you spend your money, right? Because we know you're going to get it once you align with what your authentic brand, like, guys, I'm telling you, I had a conversation where I must have closed like 5 sales that month, and I offered nobody nothing. I just literally was speaking to them, and they got to see my mindset. They got to see what life would look like if I was their coach. And some of that testimony, I'm telling you, it brings me to tears on the things that people have been through working with other coaches, and people like, this is the best money I've spent. These launches, I'm so excited to share them with you in a few weeks, what these numbers look like, what this impact has looked like, the difference in these people's confidence. Oh, whew. I could have did a documentary off of this last cohort, and I love every minute of it. So that was the authentic way of how I 2.0, how I pivoted from what I was doing when I closed a physical space. I'm also reopening Chloe's Corner to be an online community for entrepreneurs, creative talent, and small business owners. So that's pivoting the same. You could see the reflection in my in my picture. That's pivoting what Chloe's Corner started off with and still authentically showing up in a way that I wanted to. And it's going to do even more of what I wanted it to do for entrepreneurs in the space. So when you align with your authentic goals and what you want to offer, the monetization opportunities are endless. And that means that you will be able to become the king and queens of mastering your business success through cash flow. And remember, wherever there was a product that was forged by necessity, that's because you wanted to serve someone. So which means you're actually in a place of service who just happen to have a product. And if you're in a place of service and you want to serve people, then there's always opportunity to build a product. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a soap. It doesn't have to be something that's manufactured. It's just something that sells while you sleep. It could be a book, y'all. So I hope this stimulated some things for you guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed this live. And I hope to see a lot of you in this boot camp so that we can start fleshing out some of those ideas, some of those visions into reality. And we can move some of those businesses that y'all started that may have been doing okay at one point that got stuck. Let's put the skates on it. Let's put the rockets on it and take it to the next level and then level and then level and then level. We're out of here. So until next time, peace out, my clovers.